Alright, so in this video, we're gonna react as this man who seems to be on a date with a girl. He's going to let her know that he doesn't date single mothers. Newsflash, she's a single mother. Let's go.
Have you ever dated a woman with children?
I have, but I was young. I was like 22. I had a cougar. She had some younger kids. How old is your son?
He's 11.
He's 11. And from my experience, I told myself I couldn't take a woman with children seriously.
Why?
We immediately knew just as she done that face. All right, let's see her reaction. Let's see how she's gonna take this.
The child's always gonna come first.
Yes.
The child's gonna always come first. I'm going to always need to put you first, but I come second. And technically, he's a 10-year-old boy who's going to get into his teenage years. He's going to be in a situation where you're not my dad, right? I'm not talking about an anecdotal experience. Your son may be a sweet child, but my experience, it just hasn't been the best.
And the thing is, I personally think those were all logical reasons. He never did anything that was super, disrespectful. He just said his own experience and he said logical points. Let's see what she has to say about it.
You have the right to feel however you want about dating a single mom. That's your prerogative, whatever. But you're on a date with a single mom. What are you talking about? Your priority here is supposed to be trying to get a third date. I don't even know why I'm on a second date with you in this moment.
And you see how entitled that these type of people are? She feels entitled to him having to try to get her, even if it compromises his standards or is not what he wants. She just expects in her head, of course you're supposed to want me. Of course you're supposed to try. You're not supposed to have standards. I'm the one supposed to have standards. You're just supposed to try and get me by any means. And I'm the one that's supposed to vet you. And even if a woman is the receiver, that's definitely not the case. That doesn't even make sense. You're never going to attract a quality guy with that mindset. But let's see where she goes with this.
Realistically, yeah, we can have some fun.
But taking it serious.
It's like taking it seriously is just hard because I don't have to settle. I've done certain things in my life to put me at a certain echelon, to date a certain top tier. Not saying a woman with a child isn't top tier, but like standards wise, is like, I like to travel and be like, yo, let's go. Let's go to Miami, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, let me call my mom and see if she can watch the kid.
You can see her fuming. The one thing I would say in a counter argument is that the way he said it was kind of like a dig. You know, there was a little bit of energy, at least it seems to me, where it was like, oh, I'm too good for that now. I don't even want to, I don't even want to deal with that. They don't even deserve me. And even if you did think that was true, because it's not your preference now, the way he said it, I could see how she would feel like, you're making me feel less than. Almost like as if like he really wanted to get to that point where he, was able to date who he wanted, and now he's kind of like shitting on who he, doesn't want now. That's kind of the energy that I'm feeling.
It's just no real benefit in it for me.
Joya,
Yes.
you didn't ask for another date with him. What was the turnoff?
Specifically, the turnoff was when I asked that question about would you date a single mother? And Jacoby, you proceeded to tell me that basically you're a high value man and you are too good for a single mother. However, you did also tell me that you were raised by a single mother, which is profound for me to think that a single mother's not good enough for you, but it's good enough for a woman to raise you. That's unfair. And it's very insensitive to women out there who have children.
All right, so
I can kind of get what she's saying, that is a bit insensitive, but at the same time, it is his preferences. So I see both perspectives.
just because it's a cycle, I wanted to continue.
It doesn't have to continue.
So what I'm saying is that
it's more about why would you cut off and say that single women are not on the same level?
What you're supposed to learn from is history. So
Really?
you're a very
What's that got to do?
You're a very intelligent woman. You're a very intelligent woman, right?
Yes.
So if you know, as a woman growing up, you know it's the less likelihood for you to be successful by having a child. So what you do, you be more proactive. Using condoms.
What's that got to do with your choice?
Okay, if you're getting pregnant, then all right, cool. Maybe I shouldn't continue having this child because I'm not getting married. a better chance of me having a successful life.
You're speaking
by
of
finding a
me.
man. That's what I'm
Excuse me.
thinking.
So you were raised by a single mother?
Yes. And
Is your mother still
struggled.
alive?
I struggled. My mom's still
Did
alive.
she struggle or did you struggle?
And I can kind of see how this links up, because from what I was talking about before, I could see how he might have a little bit of resentment or a feeling of bitterness to those type of situations, which is why he said to her within that tone of, I'm too good for that now. But at the same time, he still is making valid points. So, yeah.
Both of us struggle.
Okay, so your words that echoed all around social media, and I want to make sure that we have this clearly, were, I'm a high-value man. I've done things to step up my echelon, and I'm not going to settle for a single mother.
Yeah,
Did I have that correctly? I want to be clear.
Yeah, we'll be selling.
Right. So what makes you think you're a high-value man? The car you drive?
No, the value I put out into the world.
See how she tried to minimize him by saying the car he drives? He never said that. If she was being open, she would just say, what makes you a high-value man? Can you tell us? But then she proceeds to make a suggestion, which shows us she's attacking him for his preference.
What about your character?
I have great character. I built myself to basically have better choices. You want to know why? Because women can choose and make a choice.
They can.
They can say, I don't want to date a man that makes less than 6 figures.
They can.
And then what are you doing? You're
But we're
demeaning
not
a man.
talking about that.
Women
That's
can
not
talk
the
about their
situation
choice.
that
Listen,
See how, they're deflecting. She's deflecting, but the interesting thing is that when women feel that you are attacking them, one of the first things they do is flip the script and say, oh, but men do it, oh, but men don't do it, or but what about men? That is one of the first things women will say when they feel they're attacked. But when he's doing it, she's like, oh, but we're not doing that right now.
Hold
That's
on.
not
A
the
woman can say, I
conversation.
won't date a man less than 5'8", and the man could be 5'4". Do they care about
What does that have to do
ostracizing all of those
with
men?
anything?
If a fat man is sitting here, he can be a fat man, right? But if a fat woman is sitting here, you would say, oh no, we're body positive. Oh, no, we can't say that. We can't. It's all about picking her up. So every time it's saying something for a man,
Bro,
it's down.
You got a lot on your back.
Yeah,
okay.
man.
So
See how she didn't address any of the points that he said? Even if it's true that he has a lot on his back and maybe there's a bit of bitterness there, maybe it still is truth what he's saying. He has a point.
what I
I'm
want
just
to be
saying
clear,
equal
not
rights.
just for you, but for everybody out there, is the car you drive, your resume, your bank account, your accolades is not what makes you a high-value man.
Yep.
And notice how he never said any of those things, but she's going with it. She ignored all of the points that he made, and then she's given him what he didn't say. She's responding to something he did not say in order to get a point, because he was making a point. So she couldn't speak on that because she would have been wrong. She brought up something he didn't even say and attacked him on that so that she could then justify her point being right.
We are all defined by the sum of our deeds and our character, and you, brother, are coming up to the sum of 0.
You see here how he makes a valid point, and then at the end, she says what she says, and he kind of looks dejected and goes, That right there is the resentment that he holds, which is why he was very quick to, dismiss it and be like, well, I've worked myself up here and I don't even want to deal with that, because, his perspective is being disregarded. His perspective is not being heard. So this creates the bitterness you see, where it's like, finally, the more you work, the more you improve yourself. You don't even have to deal with that rubbish. But it would be much better if both sides, men and women, could just listen to each other without so much judgment. But it's an interesting thing, as I said before, I see both perspectives. I think it's both very, very interesting. We don't know her situation, or at least I don't know, her situation with the father of her child or previous marriage or relationship. I don't know, so I can't really judge it. So I can see why she'd be like offended by the way that he said it. But at the same time, I can see his point, because it's true. Like, if people have an option, they don't generally pick someone with children. That's just everyone. That's men and women. So if he's at a certain point where he has more options now and he wants to choose someone who fits more of his preferred criteria, then he should be allowed to do that, really, with no judgment. But I also get the point where she was making where, it seemed like he did have some sort of deep feeling towards it. Anyway, I want to know what you think, right? So comment down below, let Reemus know, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.